Hi, everybody. This is Sam Duchalou. It's the beginning of the year, and I want to share a few nuggets to help you win this year. So, I'll be talking to you today about activating the power of purpose. But first, let me start with my story. So, I was born to two Nigerian parents. Growing up in a Nigerian household, I'm first generation America. My parents taught me what I call the four G's of success. That's go to school, get good grades, graduate, get a good job. And I followed that script. I graduated with honors, got a job, was paying my own bills, got my own house, and all estimates I was being successful. But I started to notice a routine. I'd wake up every morning at the sound of an alarm clock, get in my car, fight traffic, get to a job that I knew that I know that there had to be more in life than this. But I stuck with the job because, that's what I was taught to be responsible, to pay your own bills, to take care of yourself. And I just stuck with that job and continued to stick with that job. Well, it all came to a head one day because it was my 30th birthday. I woke up that morning, I was really excited about life, and I was just thinking about the possibilities. I don't know what it is about these decade years, but they get you thinking, don't they? So I started to reflect on my life. The more I reflected on my life, the more depressed I became. By mid morning that morning, I was literally in full blown depression. I'm talking about tears falling down my eyes. I was just in a dark place. And I started to realize, because I realized that I'd spent the first 30 years of my life living somebody else's dream, living to somebody else's expectations. And I started to get to a place where I couldn't do this anymore. I didn't want to do this anymore because at this point I was more than money, more than just taking care of the financial needs. I was also thinking about meaning, and I wanted to make an impact and have some significance in the world. And the current job I was in was not the right fit. So I started to search and find out what was going on with me? Why was I literally going through this existential crisis at 30? And the more I reflected, the more I sat there in that room, started to think about things and started to reflect on things, I started to read and write things down. And I remember picking up a book, and in the book, basically, the words jumped out at me. Basically, it said this: the reason why you're feeling the way you're feeling, the reason why you are struggling the way you're struggling right now, is because you have sat on your gifts and you're not living your purpose. And that hit me like a ton of bricks. And it was that moment I realized, from the feedback of my teachers in the past and, peers and everybody else, that I had a gift to teach and to speak and to inspire people. But for some reason, because I didn't believe in myself, because I didn't believe I could do it for a living, I sat on my gifts and my talents. And so in that moment, that day, I decided on that day that I was going to do something with my gifts, that I was no longer going to sit on the fence. I was going to actually go and activate it. And that's what I did. I chose to look for opportunities to teach and inspire people. And I did. And I, went from teaching elementary school students to high schoolers to college students, and then to professionals, working with CEOs on leadership and employee engagement and doing all of that. And so since then, from that time to this time, it's become my mission to help as many people as possible to work and lead from a place of purpose. And this is not just something that's a mission for me. This is something that I see as an existential crisis in society, because you see that. The Gallup organization does a yearly study of the workplace. And what they found out is that 79% of employees worldwide are disengaged at work, like I was. So this wasn't just a Sam problem. This was a global problem. And you know what? Most companies have tried to solve this problem by, doing a lot of external things like, hey, giving people, perks, giving them opportunities to have flexible work schedules, or paying them more money. Or if they're at the job, making it creative, like, putting ping pong tables and all these things that they try to do. And those are like short-term fixes and band-aids, actually, for what really is going on. And as I've worked with, hundreds of clients and delivered thousands, delivered to audiences of thousands actually across the United States, what I've realized that it's not just an external fix, it has to also be an internal fix. And really, the problem is that people are searching for meaning. They're searching for a sense of purpose. They're searching for a sense of significance. And you will not find that in just external things that people do. And so typically people try to, when they try to self-medicate themselves, they're trying to actually search for it in, finding pleasure in things. And they'll do all things to create kind of pleasure, or they'll try to search for it by getting power, money and things like that. And you'll find out that even though people have, high paying jobs or high paying businesses, or that they can get anything that they want to pleasure wise, that they still have a void of meaninglessness. So I want to talk to you today about how to fix that. And the answer, if you're guessing by now, is purpose. It's really finding a purpose for your life. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, about that. So again, I guess, let me just start by this, because most people hear the word purpose and they go straight into, they think it's nebulous. They think it's something that's, very academic, and they don't know what that means. So I'm going to just kind of, again, demystify purpose for you today so that at least you have something concrete to work with. So first of all, let's just define purpose for you. Purpose is the reason why something or someone exists. So that's just a simple definition. It's the reason why someone or something exists. So why do you exist? So that's the first definition. I'm going to give you the second definition, which is more workable. It's the work you were born to do. You see, I believe that every human was born to solve a specific problem for their generation. And when you find that problem that you're born to solve and you start to solve it, you get a sense of purpose and meaning. Listen, I love what Miles Monroe said. He says, you are not born to get a job, pay bills, and die. You are born to make a difference. And that's where you find purpose. When you start to find out the problem you are born to solve and make that difference. So I'm going to challenge you today to find that problem. So your question might be asking, hey, Sam, I hear you on this, but I've been struggling with this thing of purpose like you were, and I don't know how to find mine. Or how do I find my purpose? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm going to give you a few principles to help you, maybe 3 principles today, to help you to actually become clear on your purpose and so that you can start activating it. So the first thing is this. First principle is that your purpose is built in you. You see, a lot of times people try to find purpose outside of themselves. So they'll talk to their doctors, they'll talk to their psychiatrist or their therapists or their pastors, or they'll talk to people around them to, where's my purpose? What's my purpose? And the truth of the matter is that purpose is built in you. You see, everything that exists for a purpose. Whether you know the purpose or not, you exist for a purpose. Yes, even you. So if you've been wrestling with the fact that you're here and you don't know why, see, the lack of purpose doesn't negate purpose. The lack of understanding your purpose doesn't negate purpose. You are here for a reason. You matter and you're valuable. There's a problem, a situation, a solution that you were born to bring to the earth. And unless you bring it, people will suffer because you haven't brought the gifts, the talents, the abilities to solve the problem that you were born to solve. So the first thing is realize that purpose is built in. Everything that's born, everything that exists for a purpose. So purpose is built in. What does this mean? This means that if you want to find the purpose of a thing, one way to find the purpose is look at what's built in it. For example, the purpose of a fish is to swim. A fish, what's built in a fish is the ability and the desire to swim. A fish doesn't have to go to school to learn how to swim. They swim in schools, but they don't have to go to school. What does that mean? A fish naturally has built in the ability and the desire to swim. Think about a bird. Birds are born to fly. Birds don't have to learn how to fly. They come with it built in. So the question to you is, what do you have built in you? Because what's built in you is a clue to your purpose. So that's principle one. The second principle, principle two, your purpose is unique to you. Let me say it like this. You are one of a kind. You're one of a kind, which means that your journey is going to be different from your fathers, your mothers, your family members, your brothers. Even if you're a twin, your journey is going to be different. You are unique. You are wired differently. So I'm saying that because a lot of times we're listening to the opinions of everybody else, and their opinions are good, right? Learn from people, but don't become them. Why? Because you're unique. And the world needs your uniqueness, your unique abilities. Specifically, you have to pay attention to your inner GPS. Like I was telling you about my story earlier, I was listening to a lot of external voices about what I should do with my life or where I should go with my life. The problem was I wasn't listening to the inner GPS. I was listening to external GPS. So just imagine if you get lost someplace. One of the best ways to reroute and find yourself is to use your GPS. Well, every single human has an inner GPS that if they pay attention to it, it's going to lead them. And I'm using this metaphorically, but I'm also using this as an acronym. GPS is basically your gifts, your passions, and your service that lead you to your purpose. So the G of the GPS, again, is your gifts. So gifts, I'll give you a formula to get you to your purpose if there's such a thing. Start with what your gifts are. What are the things that you do naturally? What flows out of you naturally? The second thing, your passion. What are those dreams, recurrent dreams that you keep having over and over again? What are those things that you desire to do, problems you desire to solve? Pay attention to that. And the last one is your service. How can you use your gifts and passions to serve other people? Listen, it all works in tandem. So if you have a gift and you have no passion around that, that's really not a gift. That's something that we call a skill. It's a skill that you've learned to do, but you have no passion around it. If you have a passion, but you have no gift, guess what? That's a hobby, right? Because you're not any good at it. It's something you love to do. It's good for your own consumption, at your own time, but people won't pay you for it. So what I'm talking about is almost like a framework to work with. Your gifts, your passion, and then also your gifts, your passion, and then your service. Who would you like to serve? Like, who are you sent to? What kind of value, what kind of service can you bring to the world? So I'm a teacher. I bring keynote speeches and I bring training programs. I use my teaching gift to serve a specific population, mainly leaders and professionals. How about you? Who do you serve? Who do you want to serve? So these are the things that you have to think about. So that's the second thing. So number one, I said, first principle is that purpose is built in you. So look inside of you, not outside of you. Number two, purpose is unique to you. So pay attention to your wiring, your unique GPS, your gifts, your passion, your service, and that'll give you clues to your purpose. And number three, you don't need to know your purpose to get started. A lot of times people feel like I have to have my purpose clear before I even get started. And a lot of times that keeps you on the sideline for years. I know it did me. And that's why I was having my own existential crisis at 30, because I was looking for a definite purpose. And all you really need to start moving or get started is really to start using that gift. And when you start to use that gift, what it's going to do is going to create opportunities for you, and it's going to lead you to your purpose. In other words, clarity comes with motion. Stop waiting for clarity to move. Move, and clarity will come. I love the scripture which says, It says, your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. And that's what happens. Don't wait on your purpose, just use your gift. So I'm going to challenge you in this time that we've talked today to start to use your gift. Now, some of you might be asking, Sam, I'd love to use my gift, but I don't know what my gift is. Well, let me just give you a few tips on how do you find your gift. Your gift is what you naturally do best and enjoy most. I'm going to say that one more time. Your gift is what you naturally do best and enjoy most. When you think about that, some activities that you do, things should come to mind. What people told you that you're good at? What are things that you find yourself enjoy doing? Those things should show up for you. It's also what you do with ease, excellence, and enjoyment. So there are three factors. One, it comes easy. It's natural to you. Secondly, excellence. You're good at it. And third, you actually enjoy the activity. So it has to be these three things added together will tell you how this is my gift. So what I want to challenge you today is stop waiting on your calling and start using your gift. Because when you use your gift, it will begin to make room for you, and it creates opportunities for you to get closer and closer to your purpose. And one day you'll be standing in your purpose and say, yes, here's what I was born to be. So I'll say to you, I want to challenge you on this early part of the year to get clear on what your gift talents are, start to activate those principles, and start to put that in practice. And hopefully at the end of the year, you should be somewhere closer on the journey to purpose. I want to encourage you to continue to be optimistic this year, continue to lean into this year, and I wish you the best on your journey. This is Samuel Duchalou just saying, hey, stop waiting on your calling and start using your gift. Thank you.